Hello, my name is Stacey Couch, and my website is wildgratitude.com. I'm here to talk with you about shamanic journeying and what is it? First of all, I'll start with a very brief definition and then I'll delve in deeper. Shamanic journeying, in short, is a waking dream. It's waking in that we are conscious, we are alert, we are engaged, and it is like a dream in that we are going into the spirit realm, into the other world, the non-ordinary reality. So things have a dreamlike quality to them. There are 7 things that are very specific to a shamanic journey, 7 ingredients essentially that need to be there for this to be considered a shamanic journey. So let's go through those. First of all, the consciousness. On a shamanic journey, the consciousness of the traveler expands beyond their physical body and the physical plane and goes out into non-ordinary reality, otherwise known as the spirit world or the spiritual realms. Secondly, the journeyer is a co-pilot, a co-creator of the process. He or she makes decisions as to when to depart, what to do on the journeys, how far into the journey to go, and when to come back. Third, the shamanic journeyer is always accompanied by what's called a tutelary guide. This is a guide in spirit form. It could be a spirit animal, or it could be a helping spirit, such as an angel or an ancestor. The key ingredient here is that there always must be some sort of spirit guide along on the journey. 4, the journey occurs within a commonly, archetypally, universally accepted landscape. And this landscape is composed of 3 worlds or 3 realms. The first of these worlds is lower world, and we get there by going down through the earth. The second is called middle world, and it's here in this realm, this level, I'll say. And middle world is this world, but beyond the physical, what we can't see with the 5 senses, beyond just what we can taste, touch, see, and feel. It goes into the energetic and the spiritual aspect of what's going on around us here in this world. And then the third is upper world, which we travel through, obviously, by going up through the heavens. All 3 of these worlds are connected by a central axis. This central axis can be represented in many different ways, such as a tree, or a mountain, or some sort of ladder or pillar or rope that the person is traveling along. 4, in the shamanic journey, we have to have some way to induce a altered state of consciousness. You need an altered state of consciousness to be on a shamanic journey. And there are 2 broadly saying ways to do this. The first way to bring the journeyer into an altered state of consciousness is via rhythmic percussion, drumming or rattling, very simply. And cultures around the world throughout time have used rhythmic percussion to induce this altered state of consciousness for a shamanic journey. A couple of things happen while we're listening to a drum beat or a rattle that is monotonous. That's the key piece. It has to be monotonous, not have a melody to it. One thing that happens is the brain waves go in between the alpha and the theta frequency. This is the same frequency that the earth resonates at. So what we're doing is bringing our brain waves into alignment or resonance with the frequency or the waves of the earth. Another thing that happens while we're listening to a monotonous beat like that is that it causes bilateral stimulation of the brain, which is really helpful for calming the nervous system and causing communication between the right and left hemispheres, which again is really helpful for that altered state of consciousness. This is the way that I work. It's the way I work personally, and the way that I teach shamanic journeying is using rhythmic percussion. Mostly I work with a drum and do drumming. What I found is that rhythmic percussion, there's a number of benefits to it, and one of those is that we can make decision about, okay, here's when I'm going to start the drumming, here's when I'm going to end it. If things start going awry and we want to come back early, we can stop the drumming early. So it really helps with that co-pilot aspect in terms of making decisions about what we want to do, which fosters a sense of safety. It's also a very easily accessible technology. Like, we have drums and rattles readily available, and anyone can do it and try it. The other thing that I appreciate about rhythmic percussion is that it is really, because it's so easily accessible, it's really conducive to everyday life. So it's something that we can bring into everyday life to help us integrate spiritual experiences with the mundane world, and live a more integrated life. On the other hand, the other way that we can get ourselves into an altered state of consciousness is what most people think about immediately, is psychoactive substances. This is not the way that I work. Nothing against it. It's just not the way I've been called to work. So that can bring people into an altered state and have them have the opportunity to go on a shamanic journey. It has to be led by a teacher that knows what they're doing and knows how to guide the person into a shamanic journey, because there's really the opportunity, if you get the dosage wrong, or if you have a different constitution that leads you into a different kind of experience, there's the opportunity to have other things happen besides a shamanic journey. Just taking a psychoactive substance does not automatically make it that you have a shamanic journey. You need to be able to have agency, be that co-creator. You need to have that spirit guide with you. You need to have all of these other ingredients in place to make it a shamanic journey, and thus, why it's important to do it with a teacher. All right, so the sixth ingredient that you need for doing a shamanic journey is you need to be able to bring back a full account of your experiences. This can take some practice, but when you're working with rhythmic percussion, it's pretty easy because you're conscious, you're aware, you're awake. You know what's happening. And then when I'm teaching, I guide my students through how to how to recall up the experiences and how to do that in a really methodical way. So it's actually pretty easy. And if you have any difficulties, it gets easier with practice. But the key ingredient here is you need to be able to bring back a full account of what happened to you on the shamanic journey. That's the waking part of the waking dream. All right. And the seventh ingredient is equal parts direction and surrender. So the shamanic journeyer needs to be able to surrender their will over to the process and have the option and have the opportunity to allow the spirits to inform their experience, to reveal certain things to them, to have the experience unfold in front of them, and then also be able to direct the experience. So that's this interesting dance between surrender of the will and then exertion of the will, and this dance back and forth. And that actually is a really helpful practice for daily living. I talk to so many people who are trying to learn about surrender and also learn about right action, when it's appropriate to bring up the will and to act, and how to act in a integrous way. So a shamanic journey really gives us the opportunity to practice that real time. Okay, now it's time to act, and here's the choice to make that's based on my intuition or my soul's prompting. And okay, now it's time to step back and surrender and allow the process to unfold. So it's a really helpful practice, shamanic journeying is, for walking the spiritual path, for many reasons, but that's one of the key reasons. Great. So I teach shamanic journeying both online in small group workshops, and then I also teach shamanic journeying in person. So I'll put a link to my shamanic journey classes in the description of the video below. And I would love to hear any comments or questions you have. Typically, this can open up a whole world for people when they start really thinking about what makes a shamanic journey and how might it be different from other things. So I'm really interested to hear what your questions are, and I'll be sure to check in and respond as I can. All right. So have a lovely day. Thank you.